Hello friends, welcome back if you have been around for a while, and if you're new, welcome. My name is Molly. I am a first year fourth grade teacher and sub getting my teacher certification, and I just got off of school and thought I would just do like a chatty Q&A / first semester recap / open these two packages. Because I wanted to make sure to film my first semester recap before January was over, because then I felt like we're already like deep into second semester and I didn't want to get that too mixed up. So I think I'm going to start with the recap and then do questions, and then I'll open packages. Okay, so first semester recap. So during the first semester, I was a substitute on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and I taught fourth grade on Mondays and Tuesdays, and did coursework and seminar on Fridays. I learned so much just through the first semester. I learned a lot of like great things that I want to carry on in my classroom, and then I also made mistakes that I definitely don't want to make in my own classroom. I'm just gonna drink my tea. And across the board, first semester was overall really positive. I am at a school that I absolutely love, and the leadership is exceptional. And my coach, which is the teacher that I work with in fourth grade, is really just like a dream. She's so exceptional. The whole fourth grade team is. And so I've had a really, really positive experience, and I've been able to sit in and watch other teachers and see how they run their classroom, and just gain a lot of skills and see a lot of different teachers teach and learn a lot of different methods to do that. I was very surprised by I think most of all, just the overwhelming, and this I think is echoed by all teachers right now, but there are a lot of behavior issues, and there's just an overwhelming realization that COVID really hit these kids hard, and they missed out on a lot of formative, important years in school. And so it's just been a lot of like reiterating, this is how we function in school, going to school 5 days a week. And you know, there's so many protocols and all these different changing schedules, and what do we do if someone gets sick? And there's just been a lot, I think, for these kids to take on this year. And so that was definitely the most challenging part of last semester, was just the amount of like the emotional toll that it takes, I think, on the students, and then to just come in and be that like emotional venting place for them. That was really, there were definitely some days where that was very tiring. I will say there was not a single day that I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? I don't want to do this. This was a bad move. 100% first semester is solidified that this is exactly what I want to do with my life. I was so happy the whole time. I love going to school. I love lesson planning. I love grading. I love all the tedious aspects of it. And so that really has been just exceptional. I think for me personally, the hardest thing has been switching between like subbing half the week and then lead teaching half the week, or teaching the other half the week, because it's hard to switch those mindsets just constantly. So when I'm subbing, sometimes I have lesson plans, sometimes I don't to go off of, but you don't have that established relationship with those students. And so there's a lot of like getting used to a new teacher in the room and them wondering where their teacher is. And a lot of times I don't know, or that's not something that we're going to share with them. And then, you know, trying to get them to do work, but then all of a sudden flipping and going back to a classroom where I am really, really familiar with the kids and completely flipping the mindset. And like, it's not just getting through the day, it's about a much longer plan. So switching between subbing and teaching has been difficult, but I'm trying this semester to find more of a balance between the two, because that's, you know, how this program works, is that I'm able to sub in the school that I am training in, and in turn, they are able to pair me with a mentor teacher that teaches me how to teach. Coursework wise, this first semester was so fun, and it's such a nerdy thing to say. I just love school, and I love learning, and I love class, like going to class, not even just teaching. And I just really enjoyed the assignments. We did a lot of practice, teaching in front of our cohort, coaching, learning the like nuts and bolts of how do you plan a lesson, how do you teach, you know, elementary literacy, how do you build those relationships, how do you ensure that you know what's the comprehension level of our students, how do you build, you know, key points and check for understanding and things like that. And I've just really loved that. I feel like I've tried to soak it up like a sponge. In my end of semester evaluation, the area that I scored highest in was like continual learning. So obviously that's translating to my work, because I'm always thirsty for new information. This semester, I'm a little nervous. I'm switching from a content method focus of literacy to a content method focus of math, so that I can obviously learn how to teach math. And math was never really my strong suit in school. And so I think I have a bit of a, what's it called? Oh, like a self-fulfilling prophecy that's going to be harder. So I'm just trying to like keep a really positive mindset and focus on the fact that I'm going to probably be teaching math. So I should learn all the ways to be exceptional at teaching math. Yeah, I think that's it for like the rundown of actually like week to week what I've been doing. Lessons learned from first semester. The biggest lesson I've learned is how much of a village every teacher has to get their classroom running and continue it running. I have been so blessed. I haven't even started like full-time lead teaching because I don't have my own classroom yet, but I have just been showered with so much generosity and graciousness and love from my tribe. This is like teachers that I had when I was young, mentors I looked up to, family, friends, honestly strangers, like friends of friends, acquaintances. Everybody has been so supportive of me and this journey, and that has just been like overwhelmingly beautiful. There's not a single day that I can even say like, oh, that was a bad day, because I haven't had like a really horrible one yet, because I'm just overwhelmed by like how generous people are. And I don't necessarily mean money or like gifts. I have gotten those, and that's been great. And I'll talk a little bit about like strategies I've used to start building my classroom. But even just like with advice or, you know, lending an ear if I am having a problem, and what worked for them when they were students, or what works in their classroom, and just the depth of knowledge that I've been able to plumb with these mentors and coaches has been so great. So definitely first lesson learned is reach out to everyone and anyone that's willing to talk to you if you want advice or strategies or anything like that, because there are people willing to give you that information. The second thing I have, biggest lesson learned, is start building your classroom as soon as you can. And I mean like the things that you know you're going to have to kind of buy on your own, and spend the time looking for budget-friendly options. Obviously, I am not doing a traditional teaching program, so I have about 9 months to build my classroom and everything I want in there that won't be provided by the school. And the thought of that was super overwhelming. So I really started from day one looking at, okay, what are things that I know I'm going to use in my classroom that I don't need to know the grade level necessarily, that I'll be able to stock up on. So I, first of all, started building my classroom library because that's something that's very important to me, is literacy and reading, and having available lots of stories and options for students at every level, whatever they want to read, that they have something that they're going to enjoy. So I started building my classroom library on a budget. I'm going to link, I did a whole video on it and I'll link that up there. But I have continued to grow it. I probably have close to 300 books now. And I have not spent probably more than $100 on my library. And I'm very proud of that. I also have been getting just like little things here and there. Like if you see a sale on storage, or if you see, like Michael's was having one this week on storage, and I got some like rolling carts and organization that I knew I was going to need. So start early and look for budget options. I just know that I'm going to be doing a lot of DIYs for my classroom. I did a stool DIY. I'll link it up here. I'm making my own teacher stool, which is really cool. And then this weekend I'm doing more. So you can definitely make your classroom everything you want. It might just take a little more creativity. 3, do everything you can to not bring your work home. I know this is like a stereotype for teachers that they're constantly working. They're always working and they never stop. But I have tried really hard to not bring work home. Obviously, it's not a perfect system, like especially because I'm doing coursework. Like there are evenings when I have to work on homework or time on the weekends. But I spent first semester really learning how to build a routine that allows me to get my lesson plans and slides for the next week done during the week. And I'm hoping to be able to carry that on when I have my own classroom. Obviously, it's not going to be perfect, but I'd like to try that. I'm trying to think if I have any other lessons learned. I think that's like the big ones. I don't want to make this egregiously long, so I'm going to move on to questions that I have gotten about the residency, or questions I've gotten about what the rest of my year is going to look like. The question I get most often is like, where are you going to be next year? I actually don't know. So the residency placement process will happen in March or April, and I will find out then. I know that I will be in the same school district that I'm in right now, but I don't know what grade I'm going to teach, and I don't know what school I'm going to. So I will be an elementary teacher somewhere in St. Louis, but I will have way more information in April or March. Obviously, I won't share the school with you, but I will happily share the grade with you, and we'll get to start setting up that classroom. And I'm over the moon excited. The second question I get a lot of is, how am I like teaching full time, but I have a like teacher that it's their class? So the way that looks is 2 days a week, my co-teacher teaches like she normally would. It's her classroom. When I'm in the classroom though, I'm lead teaching. So she like grades or has meetings or like does all the other things that the teacher needs to do. But she also watches me and films me and then gives me feedback and coaching based on what I was doing that day. So yes, she's in the room. It's not a traditional co-teaching, like if you had like 2 teachers that were every day teaching the same class. But it's set up so that I can continue to learn and get both in the moment feedback from my mentor and also feedback from my residency program when they come in to observe me. Another question I get asked a lot is, when do you get certified? So I have been submitted for certification and I should be fully certified by this summer, which is very exciting. The last, 2 more questions. One, how do why did I decide to start a YouTube channel for this. I'm not gonna lie, I've just always loved YouTube. I've always wanted to be like have a YouTube channel and post videos. I love making videos. I love editing. I love being able to look back a year from now or 10 years from now and be like, oh my gosh, I remember when I was doing that. And it was just like a cool thing. I like sharing this with my family and friends, and it's nice to, you know, hear my family and friends say like, oh my gosh, I watched your video. That was so cool. Or, cause there are just parts of everyday life that I'm not gonna, you know, be able to share with everyone I know or everyone I'd want to. And so it's just cool. Obviously I am aware that like, I'm not filming children. Like, this was my choice and something that I decided. And so I'm very aware of the boundary and the line, and I do not cross that. So it's just like understanding that my real passion is to teach, and I love teaching. And this is just something else I really love, and I get to, you know, have fun and do in my free time. The last question is, I get asked this all the time. Is it really that bad? Like, because they hear a lot of teacher frustration from this year. I can't really answer that because I've only taught in this environment. So I don't actually know if it's this, like, I don't have anything to compare it to. I've had a really lovely year. It doesn't mean that it hasn't been hard or challenging, or I don't see, hear, and feel the frustrations that other teachers are feeling. It's also not my classroom, so it's not on my shoulders yet. Like, at the end of the day, I'm not bottom line responsible for, you know, I'm not answering to anyone in that way. And so I don't want to speak and say like, oh, it's not that bad. I'm in a student teaching role essentially, and there are just so many responsibilities and weight that comes from being the lead teacher all the time that I don't want to speak to, because I feel like it's not even comparable. I definitely understand a lot of the frustrations and have experienced a lot of the frustrations that I hear about. And so we're making it through day by day. And I have just continually been impressed with the teachers that I've worked with, and they are some of the most exceptional people and so dedicated to their jobs. And if you know a teacher, just go buy them a Starbucks or something, because they could use the coffee. Okay, the last part of this video, I have no idea how long I've been filming this, so I guess we'll find out when I edit this, is one of the things that I have really wanted to do is build like creation stations, but for upper elementary, or like, I don't even know if they're creation stations, like STEM bins, somewhere in the middle of those two things. I got the original idea from elementary with Emma. I'll see if I can link her. She'll be in the description. And I just love that she has such a focus on, you know, building that creativity in her classroom. And I think that a lot of times upper elementary students don't get that opportunity, when in reality, I think it is so deeply important that students in any elementary setting get the opportunity to play and like be kids and have fun and be creative. And I can tell in my bones, I'm just going to be more of a low-tech teacher. I recognize that iPads are so great as an educational tool, but I think a lot of times it's just too much screen time and they get so like overstimulated by them. And so I really want to focus on having like tactile opportunities for them to like play and create and think every day. So I started building them, and these are just some of the things I got for them. I originally was going to use these bags, and I might still use them for some of the larger creation stations, but I got some other bins from Michael's that I've been using for them. These are just like plastic mesh bags, and I like them because they're more durable than like a Ziploc bag. And they can hold a lot of stuff. So I got a pack of those from Amazon. And then I actually got 2 creation stations as well. So I got kinetic sand which I'm a little obsessed with. Never dries out, easy to shape, clean up quickly. I'm just really excited. I got like a sparkle teal color because it was on sale, but also because like elementary kids love a color. So that's super exciting. And then another creation station, I got 10 mini, what are they called? Mini pots. Oh, this is in Spanish. 10 mini pots or party pack of Play-Doh. And this is just gonna be one like station. For all of you teachers yelling out there, they're gonna mix the colors. I mean, I know. I think I'm just gonna do my best to be okay with it and maybe like not pay that most attention to it and hopefully be less type A about this than I normally do. Let me know below if you want to see the creation of those bins and like what the rest of the bins I have for them are. Happy to kind of take you along in that process. If you do have any other video requests or questions, comments, concerns, advice, leave them all below. I think that's gonna be it for this video. Just a cute little quick chatty Q&A recap, etc. Thanks for stopping by. Go ahead and like this video. It would mean the world. Subscribe, which would mean even more. And let me know if there's anything you want to see. Thanks so much for stopping by, and I'll see you guys next time.